Hello, my name is Elizabeth Knowles. I'm the creator of Thea Tapestry, a work of fantasy that I have worked on since I've been 15 years in the making. So I'm about to introduce you to this world's wonderful mechanics, its characters, and this very immersive setting that primarily starts in the void. So, in my world, I have it where characters go spend the majority of their adventures in the afterlife. And this afterlife isn't heaven or hell, it's the second world. The second world is a complicated network of memory, collective consciousness, joys, tribulations, and honestly, it's an odyssey about the tragedy and joy. So it's less about dying and more about how to live and how to live well. So, I'm Elizabeth, and I'm very excited to start this journey with you. So, before we begin, some things to keep in mind. This story primarily takes place in 3 main domains and 1 entry area known as the Void. The Void is where all humanity enters, good or bad. So the concept of hell, heaven, is completely taken out of the window. We don't see that as a conceptual concept until a lot later, but everyone gets put there. So whether they were good, whether they were bad, whether they were be considered evil, it's not a mechanic at all until a lot later. So you also have the red domain, which focuses on our main cast in red thread. We've got Aurora, Theo, and Raphael, and we'll see them featured a lot later. They are from the region of Samurai and Unborn. Then you have the white domain, which is the land of veterans and suicides, and the third domain, which is the blue domain, focused on yokai, alchemists, and mages. So in this interconnected network, every soul goes to the void and starts there. Your soul manifests as threads, which lead you to different domains. So the main contention is, if you didn't go to heaven or hell, where are you? Well, you're actually in the loading dock. So with the mechanics of my world, it is an RPG fight mechanics, where you either start out as a powerhouse, a tactician, or a healer. And depending on your soul type, it gives you access to the collective consciousness and memories of many people throughout times. It can be your ancestors, it can be the friends you made in life, it can be your chosen family, it can be people who you felt an intense bond, and because they remembered you and honored your memory, you have a link to them. So when you start out in the void, your soul manifests as a thread, you can find each other, and then you're automatically transported to that domain. So the 3 domains that you will be interacting with in the course of the series are the red, white, and blue domain. And I did that purposely and had it metaphysically to be symbolic to show how the setting impacts the characters that you're going to meet along the way. So what happens in the void? The void is your own problem, but also your own solution. So once you enter there, it's purple, it's hazy, you can't really see in front of you, but it becomes stronger. It manifests with you and your emotional maturity and temperament. In this world, your soul type automatically links you up to what you valued in life. So if you were a powerhouse, you valued ideals. If you were a tactician, you cared deeply about the metaphysical and the physical world, so you cared about objects. And if you were a healer, you cared about people. As a result, the healers are the smallest population in this world, and their RPG fight mechanics will come into play. So, everybody can and will fight and defend themselves. In this world, the Unborn appear as well. They are manifested, they are there, but the problem lies, if you were never acknowledged as human, then how do you leave the void? So with them, because they're truly innocent, the environment actually works to their advantage. So there's tons of fauna, there's plants, there's vegetation, there are actually beasts of the void that are manifested based on people's anxieties and fears. But the interesting thing is the Unborn are able to live in this environment and be unharmed. So they're able to build a collection of villages, they can sanction off, make their own laws and rules, and a lot of them actually prefer to be kept alone. That's until we bump into our main protagonists, Theo and Aurora, along the way. They live in a village amongst the other Unborn as well. So, the flip of the coin is, what if you were a bad or morally reprehensible person. Say if you committed war crimes, say if you were cruel towards other people, say if you were malicious in life. You enter the void, the environment responds to the vices within you, and thus your own solution becomes your own problem. The fauna starts consuming you, the animals start attacking you, and you become basically fertilizer, and you become devoured by your own vices. So even though it isn't hell, it becomes its own punishment. In a way, it's cruel, but it's fair. So those who are innocent, those who are good, you can walk through the environment, you can use your thread, you can go home. Those who have not made peace with themselves and have spent their entire lifeline in our world, the first world, and have done nothing but deliver cruelty upon others without any form of remorse, the environment will reflect that. And thus, you can safely move in and out of the environment depending on who and what you were in life. Now, keep in mind, I have it where everyone's physical body is manifested at around the range of 12-year-old, 19, 25-year-old. And depending on your emotional maturity, that's your set body. So you do have a physical form in this world. And also, as a result, your body can feel pain. So you have it where if you're emotionally mature, you're competent, you're automatically set at 25. If you're slightly immature or really naive or sheltered, you typically manifest around 19. And if you really were incredibly malicious, ignorant, bigoted, you start out as a 12-year-old. So your body physically manifests to reflect your emotional maturity. So in this world, everyone is striving to get to the third world, which is my conceptual interpretation of heaven. So basically, as you live and you live well and you fulfill your life's purpose and your dream that was left unfulfilled in the first world, you have been given the opportunity and the time to make that happen. So your body will not age until you've fulfilled that dream, that destiny, that mission, that purpose. And as a result, we can have beings and soul types in this world who have lived hundreds, if not thousands of years. Because what they need to holistically rise up to be worthy of you reuniting with the Creator, reuniting with God, is what they need to work on within themselves. So this world isn't based on punishment, it's based on growth, it's based on absolution, it's based on restoration, and it's based on recovery. So it's not manifesting what is lost, it's regaining oneself and realizing how interconnected you are to another person. So that is the purpose, the function of the void. It is basically karma in a physical, tangible form in which people can interact and build, and through the thread system they are bonded and are able to connect and build and expand on their community and rise up to a higher level. So your body physically is a metaphor for your mental and emotional state. So if you are a natural good person, if you love your community, if you are kind, this will be another 100 years. You will live it well and you will be with the Creator and everyone else. If not, it's not if, it's when you will get there. And no matter how long the journey takes, it will be completely up to you. So for our heroes, Thea and Aurora, they are two Unborn, living in one of the Unborn villages, and they are going to be summoned by the red thread and be called to go home to the samurai fiefdom that we're going to see, which is the red domain. Then you have the white domain right next to it, which is a domain created by veterans and suicides. And the third domain that we are going to feature in the book is the blue domain, which is a healer homeland. So like I said before, the healers are the smallest population. They decided to manifest and build their own country, and they are able to be yokais, alchemists, and mages. So their whole network and system is very unique to them. So all three of them the red domain, the white domain, the blue domain are all part of an alliance. So they are part of the Thea Tapestry Alliance, and Thea means God, and tapestry is overall the investments of the stories of all time, and the soul threads all tie together into a story. So the purpose of the void and the purpose of the book is showing we need to remove ourselves from the isolation and cruelty of being against each other and learning more about ourselves to be more interconnected in the world. So the void is an emptiness, but it's also the potential to create ourselves and be whole.